Hey there guys, this is Allyoucanquest, my name's Everett, and today I'm going to be bringing you Shadowrun Returns, an action RPG that was funded through Kickstarter, which is pretty cool. It's one of the first games to actually, be successful from being Kickstarter funded. So, let's do a new game here and I'll explain what this is all about. So, Shadowrun Returns has a pretty in-depth character creation. Here we'll choose our gender, we'll be a male for this. Now we'll choose our race. I'll give a bit of exposition for this. Shadowrun Returns takes place in 2054. In 2012, magic was discovered or it rose up or something along those lines. I'm not 100% familiar with it. But with the rise of magic came the rise of several metahuman races, which are essentially like trolls here, we got orcs, dwarves, elves, all that stuff, but we still got humans, they're still in there. But with that, people also gain new abilities. We got mages running around, we got shamans, people who can channel magic, all that jazz. So it's pretty cool. However, mega corporations now run the entire world, and Shadowrunners, or mercenaries, are hired by a lot of these corporations, kind of wage war against each other, or they'll be hired by smaller gangs to launch ops against these big corporations, whatever. But this game, you're a Shadowrunner. It's pretty fun. So we'll continue along with this. Each of these races has different base stats. Humans, they're pretty flat. They get +3 karma, which is your skill points to start the game, which is pretty nice. But all in all, they're very flat characters, very well-rounded. Next we have elves. They have a boost to charisma because they're very good looking, which makes them more likable to other people. They have boosted quickness, which means they're better with guns. Humans and elves, they kind of look down upon the other races. They see themselves as superior and they're a bit elitist. Dwarves, they're the shortest of all the races. They have a higher willpower, which means they can just handle situations better and they're better with magic. That brings up another subject. In Shadowrun Returns, your character dies if they either lose all their health or if their will goes down. I think it's called will. But essentially, that's just kind of like their resilience, their ability to take on the situation. If they just lose the will to carry on, then you're toast. Alrighty. So, dwarves, they have a higher willpower, they have more body. Body is essentially what decides your health stat. The more body you have, the more hits you can take. They have a strength of 12. Strength determines your effectiveness with melee weapons and how far you can throw grenades. Next we have orcs. Orcs are apparently the second most populous race on Earth now, only behind humans. They have +1 to body, which means they're going to have slightly more health than all the other races. They also have boosted strength, but they take a chip at their charisma and intelligence. Now the thing with these races in Shadowrun is the races that have lower intelligence like Orc and Troll, they don't literally have lower intelligence, it's just that all these other races, they kind of look down on them and see them as dim-witted, and so they perceive them that way. So speaking of which, next we have Trolls. Trolls have +1 to body and +1 to strength, and they have 17 body, which is massive. They have 15 strength, which is huge too. They're pretty much wrecking balls. However, their charisma and intelligence take a huge hit as a result. It's kind of a trade-off there. That's just because they're looked down upon, they're seen as dim-witted, when really they're not. Alrighty, for this video, I think we're gonna go with Classic Cuban. And here we got our different classes, or we have the option to create our own, but I'll explain the classes. First we have Street Samurai. This is your weapons expert. They're going to be good with melee weapons, shotguns, throwing weapons, guns, just everything. They lack any sort of magical capabilities, but they make up for that in weapon prowess. Next we have mages. Mages, they're your main spellcasters. They can heal guys, they can boost your party, they can be your support character, or they can just melt faces if you want them to. They have a lot of offensive spells. They shoot magic bolts, some fire, some lightning, all that jazz. Next we have Deckers. Deckers are pretty cool. They deal with something called the Matrix in the game, which is essentially the internet, but what you're able to do with the Matrix is you're able to literally kind of almost teleport yourself to like this alternate reality cyber world. Think of, well, the literal Matrix. So Deckers can tap into that and pretty much blow up the internet, just wreak havoc in the digital world, which is actually a lot more useful than you think. Next we have shamans. Shamans, they can connect with spirits, spirit animals, they can summon a lot of things too, which is awesome. I really like shamans because they always give you extra team members. It's always nice to have a shaman ally along because it's almost like bringing two guys along with you. Next we have riggers. Riggers are kind of similar to shamans as to where they have kind of like pets that they control, but they control them through like drones. So they'll have like robotic allies that fight along with them. Apparently they use their minds to control them, which is pretty cool. That's all I have to say for the riggers. I don't know too much about them. Next we have physical adepts. Physical adepts are your absolute tanks. They're your melee, get in your face fighters. These guys are a lot of fun. They channel their magic into themselves and boost themselves up to pretty much just hammer fist everything to death. That's pretty fun. Let's see, I think I'm gonna try out a shaman, but I think I'm gonna create my own class to kind of make my own special shaman that I want to do. So next we can actually decide what our character looks like. Up here we have some predetermined portraits that'll determine what a character looks like, but if we click this little chain right here, we can decide what he looks like all for ourselves. So let's see, I kind of want a pale guy, I think. Hairstyle, that's something better. Let's find something better than that. Faux that's kind of cool. Wait, that was, okay, there we go. I'm feeling this one. Let's go with that one. Color. Feeling the purple, that's cool. Beard. I'm good with that little goatee. Alright, so this will be our shaman. Let's continue stats. So here's where we get to spend our karma or our skill points. As you see here, we got this whole extensive stat sheet, which really lets us build our character from the ground up, which I love. So first we have body, as I said before, that determines health. Quickness, think of that as agility from Fallout. It pretty much determines your effectiveness in ranged combat. Next we have strength, that determines melee and throwing weapons. Intelligence, that's helpful for deckers and riggers when they operate with their machines and drones. Next we have willpower, that's your capability of casting magic and taking, well, like your willpower essentially. Next we have charisma. Charisma is what you use to control your spirits. That's going to be especially helpful to us because I kind of want to cast those guys. And that's about it. As you can see, there are several subcategories under each of these main stats, but we'll explain those as we come along. So first, I'm going to add a few to body just because, well, you need health to live. I like being good with weapons, so I am going to add a few to quickness and a few to ranged. I'll boost up our rifle savviness. Next, I'm going to spend all of these in charisma. So that way it can make us... that wasn't quite supposed to come up yet. Let's finish this. Well, alright, let's just... oh yeah, we get to choose an etiquette since we have boosted charisma. So essentially what an etiquette is it lets you determine certain speech options. For example, if I wanted to get past a security guard, if I were security savvy, I could kind of talk my way through using security lingo and convince him that I was one of them to get through. For this, I think I'm going to go Shadowrunner. Hey, sorry, I was just cutting the videos. That way I could post this all into one compilation, since my camera only lets me record for 10 minutes. So moving on, we just chose Shadowrunner as our etiquette. We're going to put some more points into charisma though, and now we get another etiquette. I think this one will go for security. Let's see, now let's put some to spirit summoning. Alright, now we get to pick a spirit totem. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Actually, let's go with Coyote. Wile E. Coyote. Those were always my favorite Looney Tunes. I mean, they're just so clever. Well, not quite clever, but just like that ridiculous violent humor. Like, not quite violent, but you know what I'm saying. It was just so ridiculous and hilarious. You could not love it. Alright, what can we put these last 2 points into? Alrighty, you know what? Instead of going with this last point, we're going to go up one more in charisma. There. Alright, we got one more point left over. Actually, shoot, I should put some points in some of these too. Amateur move. Alright, now we're good. Alright, let's do this. For continuity's sake, let's go with Mark. Because that seems to be everyone's favorite name on this channel. Alright, I think that's a good place to stop for this first episode. That was character creation. Once again, this is Allyoucanquest. My name's Everett, and thanks for watching.